that's not on by default.
You like large size tools? Is that what you're trying
I
to
like
say?
large size images. Listen,
tools.
and I don't even have my monitor's only 1440p, and I still don't like get these 800 by 600 JPEGs the fuck out of here. All right.
Yeah.
Eric has got thoughts.
I think we're
about
live,
exercising.
so just so you know, all this important stuff that
Welcome
you're saying.
to the JPEG cast.
Yeah, welcome to we talk about
No, you know what? You know what?
JPEGs of big tools.
You know what? Take these fucking JPEGs and get them the fuck out of here too. This is it's 2020, bitches. Use .png.
It's
Get the fuck
all
away
right.
from me.
It's on the Stick After Dark, and we have thoughts about image formats.
That,
sure
you know,
do.
JPEGs are fine in phones and stuff or whatever.
I mean, no.
Well, everybody just uses phones nowadays because no one gives a shit about the size of any image.
Yeah, well, listen. You
It's
want me
just
to get,
as
You want me to
good-
get really mad? Let's talk
What?
about low resolution, fucking awful phone photography where they fucking jack up the contrast and the brightness and the and
I don't
everything
see
looks
why
like
you have a
multicolored,
problem
technicolored garbage.
with someone posting a video of a concert they went to in which everything
It's just like an echoey
it's just
mess.
it's just a distorted, like a blown out AM radio speaker, and somehow this is supposed to be good.
I'm just sharing my experience.
Yeah, right.
I'm just
Yeah.
double checking here because I don't see if the stream is actually updating itself.
It's
properly.
live.
Yeah.
And also,
And it looks like a
watching that
video
is
game?
just like being there.
And it sounds
I
like
mean,
a
it
video
looks
game.
like the Hades title screen right
Well, that's
now.
why it's supposed to look like me playing a video game, which is why I'm concerned.
You're good. You're good.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess you're right. It's the game's not. I can see you, but the game's not doing
I can
anything.
see you moving and you're moving your mouse, but it's just the title screen.
That's
what I'm
funny.
That is what I see your mouse.
Haha, funny or strange funny?
No, I was gonna say like the other one.
Mm.
Yeah, like not the one that I want.
Are you just playing your thumbnail now? Is that
I think
after we went
No,
through
that's
all that with the
it's
thumbnail?
frozen
You're
on
just
the.
playing that?
It's frozen on the title screen for some reason.
It's a
When
good
I
ad
streamed
for this.
Hades, I had to do. I couldn't do window capture. I had to do game capture, I think, in order to make it work properly.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I always just do monitor capture at this point because OBS is so fucking finicky about what windows or games it's willing to capture. I've just gone like, nope, just fucking capturing the whole monitor. I don't give a shit.
All right. Well, welcome to the extremely professional Hades stream.
Yay!
I volunteered to host, and Mike insisted that he was going to play Hades.
Play
tonight.
capture.
He's almost ready.
He's almost ready.
He's almost ready.
15 minutes
This is
after he was
exciting.
almost ready, he's still almost ready.
This is gonna be
It's-
really.
Whoa!
Whoa, this is the best.
I
This
told
is-
you it was gonna be exciting. Come on.
This is the 9 levels
I think
of
there's
hell.
something
There we go.
hilarious
Now we
about
see
Joe
something.
giving somebody shit about having technical difficulties while streaming. Also, but
Hey,
I
he's
rarely-
playing Hades. Look at this.
Yeah, I rarely
Uh,
have technical difficulties when streaming a
excuse me?
PC game.
Oh, hey,
Yeah,
it's
let's
on the
do
Stick
it.
After Dark, and we're just starting our stream. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
yay!
Here we
Yay.
are,
Fuck
Hey.
JPEG.
playing Hades.
Fuck 800
Yes,
by 600 size
and
image files.
Instagram, right?
Google
Instagram.
search.
And I'm just gonna edit this in the future so that the stream started there. How's everybody doing tonight? Joe?
Fine.
Yeah, I'm all right.
Yeah. You seemed
How
a
are you,
little peaked
Mike?
earlier.
Everybody's ornery.
Well,
I don't know
it
about
is-
everybody.
It is that kind of world, huh?
I mean, I'm ornery, but not over. I'm just funning with Mike. I'm not actually ornery with him. I'm.
That's
ornery
funny. I
with-
didn't notice that. All right.
What's up with Hades, Mike?
Well, so it's out now. Took the what? 3 years? 2.5 years? Something like that.
No.
I'm not.
No.
Like a year and change.
I mean, the date listed for this game is 2018, and I thought they said in their title update like that it took them 3 years, but whatever. Maybe it took them
Really?
3 years.
Maybe for them, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's been in early access for like a year and a half or so.
Yeah. Because I got it when, well, I mean, it launched on the Epic Store when that started. So
I
that
guess it
would've
hasn't been
been
that long since
years
the
ago.
Epic Store started.
Yeah.
It was last summer, I thought.
That's what I think too, but it might have been 2 years ago. I don't have a fucking clue anymore.
Yeah, that's.
I continue to maintain
says
that this
December
is both
2018
the
on
longest and the
page.
shortest year of my entire life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It says December 6th, 2018 on the Epic Store page,
Yes.
wow.
which that, because that might be accurate because I might have gotten it like sometime in that spring or whatever. But for some reason, I wouldn't have even said that the Epic Store had been around that long.
Yeah, same.
But fuck, man,
same.
I don't know anymore.
Each exit has its own reward.
Yeah, so this game is out. I played it before.
Started early access in December 2018.
Oh,
according
okay.
to-
So almost 2 years of early access, and
Almost
I guess,
2 years.
I guess 3 years of development or something. I played this a little bit. Eric's played this a lot in early access. I will say this feels really good, and I don't even remember it feeling this good when I played it in early access before. So I don't know if they've been tweaking the controls, but
Sure they have been.
the sword feels tight. Except that I'm also very bad at this game.
Are
So
you playing with
there you go.
just a 360 or Xbox One controller? Or?
Got one of these here, classic Xbox One controller. Going to be
You're,
obsolete.
you're actually not on the screen.
Oh,
anymore.
right. The order of everything changed. I suppose I should change that.
It's fine.
After we went into the
Ooh, get to see the
descending-
cool thing again.
descending pit of levels of hell.
All right, display capture. There we go. Move down. There you go. Look, it's me. And that part was really cool. So,
How many weapons have you unlocked?
I actually decided I was going to start the game over.
I am too when I decided to start playing again. But...
So you don't have to lose your old data because there's multiple save slots, which is nice because not every game does that for some reason. Anyway,
I
this
feel
is
like
the
a lot
Xbox
of
controller that I was
rogue
talking about.
likes don't do that. In fact,
yeah.
Yeah, well, it's nice when they do because
Yeah.
it's nice to not have to sacrifice the hours I put in before.
Mhm.
Right.
Even though
Unless
I
you
don't,
want
I
to.
don't think I'm
You
going to
wanna
actually
opt
go back
to
to that save at any point.
restart.
But,
Don't be sad though. Some of us more than
anyway, you come back and your dad sasses you.
Mhm.
Stupid boy.
I told you nobody gets out of here, whether alive or
I think before I reset my progress, I'd unlocked 3 or 4 weapons. I'd tried the shield, and there's a spear, I want to say.
Love the spear.
Um,
I like all of the weapons, honestly.
So I'll just be
It depends on your build. Like most of the weapons are like kind of vanilla when you start out, and then if you get the right build, then they become super fun.
I'm going to pet the dog. You can't pet the dog. It takes a special button to press. That's interesting.
You should pet the dog.
It's not special. It's a dedicated button.
When I played a ton of it, I had
Is it a
the only
different button for each
character.
head?
The only character, yeah, the only character that I raised my level all the way with was Cerberus.
You kept giving him wine.
Uh-huh.
That's how you do it, is you give them wine.
Nice. I mean, it seems like not a great idea to give a 3-headed demon dog a lot of wine.
Depends
but,
what kind
you
of
know,
drunk he is.
I suppose.
This room seems new. What's this room?
Poke him in the heel.
You know I can hear you, old man.
But yeah, even if I don't play this game this year, it will probably be in my top 5 games of the year.
Yeah, right.
Hey, treat yourself.
Was it-
Play this game.
I left it off my list, but that's really
You mean last year?
yeah last year.
Yeah.
Um,
Breaking with
Early access, but
Eric Allen tradition. You left it off your list.
well,
I believe it next.
like I think the only early access game I ever really had on any of my lists was like
Kentucky
the
Route
first 2
Zero?
chapters of Kentucky Route Zero, but those chapters were complete. Like they're not different
Right.
now than they were.
That's
when
true.
It came out.
That's true. It's not early access at that point.
Right.
This doesn't
It
seem
just
very
took them
different so
7
far.
years.
I'm back.
I just want to say, this does not seem very different so far.
Night and darkness.
No, I like the art.
I guess I can. Do
I mean, this game does the things that Supergiant games do. It's great art, great music, great writing, and then
Yeah.
I think this is the best playing game that they've put out. Although I haven't spent a lot of time with Transistor, so
Transistor is not really a playing game. It's
Yeah.
kind of more of a thinking game.
Yeah. I didn't
that
play
mean?
Pyre.
It's not really an action game. It's like a strategy game dressed up like an action game. I like Bastion a lot when I played a bunch of that, but I would not be surprised if this one plays better.
I mean, well, Bastion
I
is
remember
guns, and
liking
this is more
that.
melee focused, so.
You get a bow and arrow at some point in this, don't you? Though.
I mean, like the spear
I
has
can
a
actually
range,
unlock
like, there
the
are
bow and
ranged
arrow right
attacks,
now.
but
If you want. I'm gonna keep the sword for now.
Escape through that pink
sword's
window
good.
there.
So, Mike, it's not bothering me like a super lot, but just like so you know, your screen is like shifted down a little bit. So there's a black bar at the top, and part
yeah,
of the
you know-
HUD at the bottom is off the screen.
You know what the problem is that I'm running my monitor in 1920 by 1200,
Yep.
and you know what? At this point, that's just gonna be how it's gonna be for now.
Yep, I mean, whatever.
fine.
It's not a big deal. Nobody watches these anyways.
I mean, I can take us back to the psychedelic zone if we want me to try and slide it up a little bit. It wouldn't
Man,
be,
I love steak
I guess it wouldn't be
Tartarus.
very hard.
Oh, good job.
Yeah.
It's a little more difficult than I anticipated, but that should be a little better. All right, what are our choices here? Let's get ourselves an upgrade. It's Zeus.
Take some mushrooms and watch the.
That guy, am I right?
That horny asshole, Zeus.
He didn't call me Jesus. He said, "Hey Zeus."
All right, special causes lightning bolt to strike enemies. That sounds cool. My cast is a burst chain of lightning that bounces between foes. That sounds actually very cool. My dash causes lightning bolts. I like dash abilities, but I think I'm gonna go with this one. All right, let's zap some fools.
I do enjoy chain lightning.
Will
Yeah,
you have
exactly.
Will you have the opportunity to get another one of these later, or is this like
Yes.
okay.
You
Yeah,
get
you-
lots of them as you play. You get them from different gods as well. So like sometimes you can like combo different. You can sometimes like
You can get a
there's
boon
like a
from
bunch of different
Zeus and a boon
slots.
from
Right. Or
Artemis
sometimes you
something.
can yeah,
I
or
may
you
be
can
crossing pantheons there. I can't.
It's like it's
No,
like
you're not.
it's like the Aphrodite, Zeus.
But I mean, if he gets the so wait, I guess I also don't know what actually carries over from playthrough to playthrough in this instance.
Nothing.
None of those. You
Oh, I
could,
thought some of your
There is an
upgrades you
upgrade
carry.
tree. There's an upgrade tree that's in your bedroom where you can like upgrade the amount of health that you have and some other things like that. Like there's one skill that like lets you die and then respawn, basically.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of those kinds of things, but the weapon upgrades do not carry over. So like this lightning bolt ability, that you would have to get lucky and roll it again if you wanted to use
Gotcha.
it.
but what's cool is also they're different gods, and if you snub one god too many times, they'll start to pout and get mad at you, and you might have to do like a level where they're actually giving you a penalty until you kind of win them back over.
Or sometimes if you take boons from two different gods, then they will pit like against each other, and then you like have to pick which side you want to be on.
Yeah. But sometimes they're also friends, and they'll get along well if you take both boons.
Yeah.
So I guess I got Zeus
Cool.
level 2.
So Mike, how do you compare this with what you've played of it so far? How would you compare this to Dead Cells, which is the last rogue like that I spent a lot of time with?
I mean, they feel really different because this is top-down. This game has a story, which I think is, the biggest difference, right? Is that this game has
Dead
characters-
Cells technically has a story.
Barely, right?
This game has writing.
This game has
Okay.
writing and acting, right? It's like there are voices.
Mm-hmm.
After you dash just before getting hit, a bolt strikes a nearby foe. But that just sounds complicated.
Not only that, but this game is kind of like self-aware, right? Like the writing, like the fact that you're dying and looping through it over and over and over
Is
again is
built
written
into it.
into the game.
Right. Yeah.
Technically
I mean, there's-
true about
there-
Dead Cells also.
I would say that's true of Dead Cells as well.
But the game doesn't react to you in Dead Cells, aside from some characters remember you from time to time. But this game has a story based around the fact that you're trying and failing over and over again to get out of Hades. Or I like to call it Hades.
Some
Anyway,
people call it Hell, I call it Hades.
Like some
yeah.
of the boss characters you'll run into will not just remember like you or how the last fight you had against them went, but they'll actually show up in the hub and you can talk to them there as well.
Like, I don't know, how do
So
you...
you
compare
get
and-
permanent ability boosts that stick with you, but none of your gear or abilities.
Well, you choose
Yeah.
one weapon per run, and so you unlock more weapons and you can choose what it's going to be. But that's not going to change anytime during your run, right? This run is going to be a sword run until I win or die. You can get a few upgrades for your character by spending like the purple shards and things like that. You can get access to more items and like boons from different people by making friends with them and by giving them the hooch that you find when you're in the underworld. So you do get a little bit stronger from run to run, marginally, you know.
So the weapons that do you earn more weapons as you go, or do you?
You can
can get
unlock
keys.
them. Yeah.
So every time I
Right.
finish a room, you see the orb on the wall.
Yeah.
There are different bonuses you can get for finishing a room, and sometimes there are branching paths, and you can choose what kind of bonus you want. So one of the bonuses is a key, and you use that to unlock different weapons, and I think other stuff. But you have to choose, do you want to get the key, or do you want to get some health back, or some money to spend when you see, is it Charon, who runs the
Yeah,
shop?
Charon's a shop guy that he'll sell you different health restoration stuff or whatever. He has a bunch of stuff. Or sometimes those purple shards that let you buy the...
Just one more way for him to make money.
Mhm. He's always hustling.
Well,
Yeah,
look,
exactly.
he usually only gets 2 coins from every person who goes down the river. So
Yeah,
My attack inflicts
but I mean
doom.
that's a lot of coins.
That sounds good. Or my special inflicts doom.
What was
After
it?
slay, my attack can inflict doom. I like the sound of that.
Doom,
Doom's very good. Uh-huh.
doom, 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 doom,
Uh-huh.
doom.
This
Yeah,
one's also
that's cool.
rare, so I'm gonna have to go for the rare one that gives me doom.
Kill or be killed.
So to see here, I can grab a key if I go through this door. I don't remember what the button is anymore. There's a way to see if there's multiple exits to this room, and I don't remember how you do that. But I'm just gonna take the key because keys mean weapons, and who doesn't want that?
You want the weapons because
You
the
always,
weapons are good.
always be unlocking.
Yes,
ABU.
ABU.
Yeah.
Ouch. Oh, these guys got some shields going. Ow, that hurt. So I mean, as to how the games compare in terms of playing, like how do you compare a top-down action game with a side-scroller? I'm not.
well, I more meant the inherent rogue likeness of it, not how they actually play.
I mean, all these games work off kind of a basic formula, which is that as you play, you unlock more stuff. And not that you have it all the time, but that, like, new things can show up in runs, right? So, the item pool gets bigger, is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
Did that happen? Does that happen in Dead Cells? I guess it
Yeah.
does. Doesn't
Yeah.
It?
Yeah, you can buy new weapons. You find blueprints for weapons, and you can
Oh,
buy
that's
them.
right. The blueprint thing.
But the difference is in that game, the weapons are what appear in the levels, whereas in this game, you unlock the weapons permanently, and then you get the boons that make your weapons do different things as you play through the level. So that's what the big difference is, I'd say. But
So are the boons different depending on which weapon you chose for a given run?
well,
or-
the like the same gods show up, but each weapon has a different move set that you can take, right? So like the spear has one. I can't remember whose it is, but like one of the spear's moves is that you can throw the spear, and then one of the gods will give you a boon where the spear will bounce from enemy to enemy, and then as you upgrade that, it'll bounce like hit more enemies when you throw it.
Yeah.
Right. So.
How has anybody finished? Eric, did you finish it when it was in early access?
I didn't finish it. I don't even know if there was really a finish to it when I was playing a lot of it.
I don't think there was a year ago. Also,
Yeah.
this game's hard. Like
it is very hard.
I don't know
got
that
to the third boss, fourth boss, something like that.
I don't know if I ever beat the Hydra, which is only the second boss in the game.
The Hydra is very difficult.
Oh, okay, so here's a room that you give me like bucks to upgrade my character, but it's got a skull, so it's gonna be like a hard room. And here's one that gives me money, and it won't be a hard room. And because I'm playing not so great, I think I'm gonna take the easy option.
Go here the river.
Oh, it's
Coward.
It's not money. This is a shop. Sorry.
Kieran's shop.
I can buy a burger and fries, and I will.
Nice.
Will you pick up the whole tray and just shove it into your face all at once?
I wish.
Can you buy a garbage can with meat in it?
I mean, I haven't seen everything in the game, right? So who knows what they added for 1.0.
And then there's another secret shop that you can access. I don't. There was a lot of stuff in this game.
Never gone this far.
The fruit is for upgrading one of your boons, right? The what is it?
Yeah, the pomegranate.
The pomegranate. Thank you.
I think.
I know what it is in
that-
French. Did you know that the French name for that is where the word for grenade comes from?
I think
Did
I
not know that.
did know that actually. I
It's
think that might have
the
been.
pomme grenade. The apple grenade. I hope these spikes can hit the floating dudes. I like this chain lightning thing. That's getting to be good for these little weak guys.
Good enough to eat.
I really like. One of my favorite skills was one of the Aphrodite ones, but I can't remember what it's called now. Since it's been so long.
Oh man, 4 lightning bounces. Hell yeah.
It's pretty good.
Let's get some upgrade bucks. Yeah, I'm looking forward to sinking some time to this. I think when I played it a year or two ago, whatever we decided was the time, I think I kind of said, all right, this is cool, but I only played it for maybe 5 hours. I was like, I was going to save some of this so that I can enjoy it when it's in full release, and here we are. Here
It
we
looks
are.
pretty much the same.
It looks similar, yeah. So I don't know. I mean, that's what was also interesting about their early access, and I've seen other people do this now too, is where they kind of made the game linearly. So like the part that you could
Yeah, they were
play-
adding biomes as they went and so on.
Yeah, and the parts that you could play were more or less finished. It's the same thing that they were doing with Griftlands, Clay.
Yeah, that's another one I need to spend some more time with.
Yeah, I spent
Man,
a
I
bunch of time with that game this year, and it rules.
Really wish Clay would make another action game. They made such good action. They made 3 really good action games, and then
I
they
feel
just
like
stopped.
They're just kind of, they just want to like try different things all the time.
I was gonna say, you just know that whatever they make next is not going to be like Griftlands was. So.
Well, like the guy that did Mark of the Ninja left.
Oh, did he?
Did he go to another studio?
I believe so. Could be
Speaking
wrong on
of
that.
leaving studios,
Uh-huh.
did you guys hear about
Man,
this?
Clay.
There's a studio that's now starting up. That's a collective, a co-op studio from the ashes of the Skullgirls, Lab Zero.
Oh.
I had
They
heard about
all
that.
got really pissed off at Mike Z for being a piece of shit, and they were
Really-
just like, "Okay, bye." And
Start out with the big news of the week. The Skullgirls.
I'm
I don't know,
starting
that's
off with
cool.
the
I mean,
positive news of the week.
if they're
that's
making
okay
another-
with you, Eric.
If they're making another fighting game, then I just, I don't care. But
Back
it
in
seems like
Aliens
people like
suck.
that Skullgirls, and it looked really nice. So
Yeah, they haven't really said what they're doing. Just that they're
maybe
you
they'll
know,
be like Clay, and then they'll make some kind of weird,
really weird,
stealth-based,
Oh,
turn-based, tactical
Yeah.
game or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm
saw that coming.
really.
I don't know. Once
really
Clay
interested
got
to see
that
what they do.
don't starve money, they just kind of
Yeah.
could do whatever they wanted.
Right.
Sorry, I interrupted you. What were you saying, Joe?
Oh, I was just saying that the structure of the studio is, I think, what's most interesting. I think that there's been a lot of in the last 10 years, there's been a lot of bad shit in terms of acquisitions, in terms of not just with the game studios, but in terms of like the way that sort of
That's the dog.
creative businesses, writing and game making and that kind of thing have sort of become these parts of these big corporate empires that want to dictate them in certain ways, and sort of now people are moving towards these other more interesting models, and I really hope that I can't remember the name of the studio, but I hope they do well in their co-op venture. And that came kind of right around the same time that a bunch of people who had worked at Deadspin and The All and a bunch of other places started like a news collective that's entirely supporter based called Brick House. That's all subscriber. It's all based on subscribers, not on ad revenue. So, I hope that those things bear fruit, and that it turns out to be like a net positive.
Right,
for,
that they can at least sustain themselves.
Yeah. So, obviously not the biggest news when it comes to game studios this week, but I don't know. I don't know what to make of the Bethesda news. Honestly, I was shocked.
Microsoft owns Doom now, you guys.
Yeah. So I guess so from Twitter, the takeaway I'm seeing from that is that now Doom Guy and Master Chief can kiss.
They're both
Okay,
Disney.
so I guess I am on board then. All right.
Yeah, I like.
I mean, open.
How can they kiss when Doom Guy never takes off his helmet? Ever?
Master Chief never takes off his helmet either, so they must just.
Also, is it going to be a three-way with Doom Guy, Master Chief, and
BJ.
Cortana?
BJ Blazkowicz. Maybe they just rub helmets together, and that's the same.
Is that what we're
No,
calling
it's got to be Carmine, right?
That's what we're calling it. No, there you go. Yeah, right.
No, it's all breath play with Carmine.
Yeah, I mean, really, at this point, if
That's
you
how
were
he dies this time.
This is my point. Yeah.
if you were talking about
He
big
doesn't
beefy,
pull the little David Carradine.
Oh man,
Sorry, that was in bad taste.
I
You could've-
mean,
you could have gone with Michael Hutchins.
Dear Lord. All right.
um,
How many keys do
like-
I have?
Marcus Phoenix and Master Chief could have been kissing for the last almost 20 years, and they haven't. So I don't know that Doom Guy is going to be.
Do you know that?
Well, not publicly, I guess.
This is
But I don't. I mean, that caught me flat-footed. And Megan was like, I was like, I did not see that coming. And Megan was like, do you see all like corporate acquisitions coming? I'm like, well, in video games, I feel like it's usually on the back of like such and such company had a really bad year, or such
Or
and such
a really bad
company-
5 years or
Just say,
10
right,
years.
yeah.
And somebody
Yeah.
is just like scooping up the remains for the IP, basically.
Right, but this is like they paid almost $8 billion
Right.
for
That is a fucking
I
lot of
mean,
money.
this is the company that has that Skyrim money, right? Like
Mhm.
Bethesda
Right.
is a company that could afford to kind of do whatever they want because apparently Skyrim just sells millions of copies all the time, no matter what they do with it.
I mean,
so,
it helps when you put it on everything.
yeah.
right.
You know,
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, this isn't like
I mean, I don't like it. I think it's
Microsoft has a much better record of letting studios kind
Yes.
of do their own thing and make
Yeah.
good video games. They're not like it's not like when EA scoops up a studio and you know that like 5 years later, there's
Yeah,
nothing
they're
left.
gonna
Or
fuck it all up.
Activision,
Yeah.
right? Like
Right.
with Blizzard, where, but so
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it from a game standpoint, but you kind of hate to see
yeah, right.
all the corporations end up as like two big corporations, like it is in movies or whatever.
Right.
Just in time for Cyberpunk to come out.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I mean, to be fair with movies, there's like at least 3 or 4, but you know, but
Yeah, but
it's
that's like half as many as there was when we were kids.
right. It's
And even at that time, then that was like half as many as there was a few years before that. So
right. I mean,
Yeah.
I think the thing that's worrying to me is, I mean, the worst take of the week in terms of video games. To be super clear, the worst take of the week was people like I saw a tweet that was about like, you know, we gamers demand that Sony start acquiring studios, and I was like, why would you
No.
want that? Why would you want that?
Dude,
Like,
that's just more console wars bullshit.
right, the reason that Nintendo and Sony don't buy studios is because they already own all their own studios.
right.
Like, they don't need to purchase someone else's infrastructure. They've already built and maintained their own for decades.
Right,
Yeah.
but there's a lot
Right.
of like fanboy jerking off about like, oh, wouldn't
You
it be
could've just
cool if
stopped it
Sony
off.
bought? Right, wouldn't it be
Yeah.
cool if Sony bought Konami or whatever? And
I
it's
mean,
like,
Sony did that for some things already, right?
Well, here,
in
let
the
me-
past,
Yes.
you know,
And it would be
Yeah.
cool if
They're-
somebody bought Konami.
you know, they've locked
Right.
down
Right, it would be cool, yeah,
Insomniac and
Yeah.
right.
yeah,
Yeah.
or shoot it in the head, one or the other.
Yeah, put it out of its misery. No,
Yeah.
it'd be cool
They
if
should
somebody
buy
else
all
could.
the Konami IP and then made a good.
Yeah,
Right. It would just be cool
Sure.
if Konami would just decide, like, if they're just holding on to that IP for fucking gambling machines, like, let people take risks with it in games and just like
Yeah.
let people do.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
Like-
there's definitely a lot of small studios that would love to get their hands on those IPs and make
yeah.
new versions
Yeah.
of those games.
Like let
Streets of Rage 4 was kind of like that, right?
Yeah. I mean,
that game
Sega
turned out
was
pretty damn good.
basically just like let Guard Crush and Lizard Cube do
Yeah.
basically whatever they wanted, and
That game's
yeah,
dope.
that game is really dope. So I mean, I think that would be interesting, but the idea of the platform holders holding on to more, like that's
Right.
not. I don't like that.
If
That's
you're
not good.
somebody that wants a PlayStation, you should be upset about this because it means that maybe the next Bethesda thing won't be on PlayStation.
Right, well, I've seen a lot of people saying they don't think that will be the case, but then if that's not the case, why did Microsoft
Well,
buy them? What
Like
was
the
point
two,
of
the
buying
next
them?
two Bethesda things. Well, I mean, part of the reason the reason why this makes the most sense for Microsoft to like more than it does for Sony or Nintendo to do this kind of thing, is because Microsoft just wants stuff to have on Game Pass.
Right.
And so Bethesda has, you know, obviously there's the Bethesda stuff and the id stuff, and there's
So-
just a lot of content that comes along with purchasing that will just be on Game Pass in perpetuity now.
Right.
And that's the thing that Microsoft is hoping will keep people subscribed to that service and make them a lot of money in the long
Right.
term.
I mean,
Right.
as a pure investment, they also just get to make that Skyrim money and whatever the next
Right.
thing that they put out is, right?
It's like I said, like Microsoft has done pretty well by most of those studios that it's picked up over. the
Yeah, I
years.
mean it has. And even I mean, like I was saying to Megan, like they've also not been super duper exclusive with everything they've had.
No.
I think that they'll
Well,
probably
yeah,
be
a lot
listed about
A lot of people
PlayStation.
flipped out when they bought Minecraft and were like, it's only going to be an Xbox thing. Of course, they
It's on everything.
they would be idiots if they did that because
Right.
that's not where the the
Right.
market is, and so there are similar arguments for some of the things involved.
I mean, they put Cuphead on Switch. You know,
Well, it's on
And
PlayStation now
Tesla.
too, right?
is it on PlayStation now?
I think it is. Yeah, I think it just came out there like recently.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It caught me truly flat-footed, and I'm interested to see what they do with it, but I don't love it. I don't love it.
So I have a selfishly, I actually am a little bit happy about this because I own a PC and will probably continue to own a PC, which means that I'll never be completely blocked from playing these games. And I figure in the exclusive games race, Sony is way ahead of Microsoft, right? Microsoft basically has, you know, Halo and Gears are fine, but they've been around the block so many times that it's kind of hard to get excited over them. So I figure this puts more pressure to kind of just even out the race a little bit. So I don't know. It's probably bad that giant companies get gianter, but if this kind of keeps Microsoft and Sony more competitive with each other, then I kind of like that.
Yeah, I mean that's.
If they did it again tomorrow, I wouldn't be happy about it, but
Right. That's definitely a way to look at it, and I don't disagree with you necessarily that but I mean it will keep the Microsoft Sony platform. But I mean, there's
it's
a lot.
weird, right? Because like Deathloop is a PlayStation 5 exclusive that Microsoft now owns,
Right.
and I assume that there's
feel like
probably
once
not
that
a lot they
contract
can.
is up, though, like,
They said they're
So
not
is Ghostwire
undoing any of the
Tokyo.
already announced ones.
Right, like I don't like that contract exists. I'm not sure that they
Right,
could get
right.
out of it.
They
even if
probably
they
couldn't,
wanted to.
yeah,
But I mean, it will probably accelerate the time frame that those games come to PC and eventually Xbox or whatever. I'm sure that is the case, but it's just.
Yeah.
I was really baffled by I mean, I know that it's console wars bullshit, but the fact that people were like Sony should buy more studios in response was just, I was like, why? What are you missing about
If you're a
why this is
person
bad?
that if you're a person that wants to pay fair prices for video games and shit, or just to be able to play all of the video games without having to worry about owning like 19 different consoles, then you definitely don't want that.
Right.
Right. So I don't know. Like I said, ask me in 5 years, right?
How
Like
it
that's kind
went.
of the right, because it's kind of hard to say how it's gonna go or what it's gonna be. But
I mean, I think
I'll
that-
open the steel box that you've been sealed into.
I think Microsoft will do right by them, you know. But I just, you know, I don't know that at large it's not.
I mean,
good
it's
thing.
possible
that's okay.
that
Sorry,
doing
about that.
this means like
I don't need to sign into Zoom.
like-
now. Thank you very much.
Arcane gets to make something else.
yeah,
You know, instead of having to worry about
Which-
what the returns
do you know
on
which
Dishonored or
Arcane
Prey
is
were.
making Deathloop? Is it the Dishonored Arcane or is it the?
I think
Prey
it's the
Arcane?
Austin folks.
Okay, because there's like
That's
couple of
Prey
Arcanes
Arcane?
or
There's
what?
there's Austin and there's Lyon, France.
Yeah.
Which one is
But-
which though?
Lyon did the Dishonored stuff
And
generally.
what did the Austin folks do?
Prey.
They were just Deathloop.
Prey.
Oh, Prey. I didn't much care for Prey. I'm gonna check
I
out
think there was-
Deathloop either way.
there was
But
things
Actually,
that
I
I
have
really
that backwards. Or Leon did Prey because that was driven by Rafael Colantonio, who's not there anymore. Who was one of the original Arcane people. So,
So Dishonored was the Texas people?
yeah. I mean, I think they worked collaboratively as they got close to it, but I think it was primarily those folks.
ZeniMax. What else is
Although-
ZeniMax on? I'm looking at their thing right now.
So they have it. I mean, they.
Arcane Deathloop is being developed by the Lyon people.
What's,
according to
so
Wikipedia.
what's the deal with the? I know that
Dishonored, Evil
ZeniMax
Within,
owns the. Oh yeah, the
Wet.
yeah. Of course, we need another wet game stat. I'm interested in Ghostwire Tokyo, so I guess I'm curious to see what becomes of that. But
We'll get Rage
Oh.
Online now.
so does Bethesda own the whole id back catalog as
Yeah.
well?
All the Quake and Doom and all that
Quake
stuff.
and Doom games.
Yeah.
Commander
I don't.
Keen.
I mean, I.
So Bethesda does not own them.
And
ZeniMax owns
Commander
them.
ZeniMax, right?
Right. And
Right.
Commander Keen,
ZeniMax
that's correct.
owns, but that's what Microsoft bought. So they get Arcane and id and
Right.
Machine
Yeah.
Games and all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
So
id,
but
Arcane, Machine Games, Bethesda.
So they don't just own the rights to make new Doom games. They actually own, like, if
They
old
own
Doom gets
Doom.
They
re-released.
should.
And they
Yeah,
own
they should
Doom
get
and
all of
Quake.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. That was that John Carmack tweet that they talked about on the Bombcast, where he was like, "Oh, now that Doom is owned by people that don't hate me, maybe I can be involved in that again."
Hey,
I
I
saw
saw
a
a fight a
Trent-
boss.
So I feel like Trent Reznor knew about this before the rest of us did. Apparently,
Did he?
did you guys see the tweet?
I don't think so.
Because he was tweeting about the Quake soundtrack.
I don't have Twitter anymore. Remember, I was suspended for getting
Well,
hacked.
maybe I
4 months ago.
I actually saw this tweet in a Art Consequence of Sound article, not on Twitter. So, but he tweeted something about how the Quake is getting a vinyl release. The soundtrack is getting a vinyl release through the Nine Inch Nails store, I guess. And he tweeted something about doing it and about how, like, a certain publisher is having there's an issue and it might be a problem because of some stuff with a certain publisher. And then he deleted the tweet like not long after that. And so, but obviously whatever's going on, it's still happening, which is weird because I actually thought he owned that music. Because it seems weird that he would
I have no idea.
do a project like that, especially when that was still like a relatively offbeat thing for someone as famous as him to do, and not retain the rights to the music. But who knows, I guess.
On the other hand, it might have been just such a unique sort of one-off thing. He was like, "Yeah, sure, here you can do whatever you want with it."
That's possible. And also he might have been bros with like Carmack and Romero at the time and not
Right.
thought about where this road
Yeah.
could potentially lead to. And
It led to him doing a whole bunch of soundtracks eventually, right? Wasn't that his first soundtrack?
yeah, I don't know that I would necessarily draw the line between Quake and like the Social Network soundtrack, but I guess. I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah.
didn't you know that? Shit. I
David
can't come up-
Fincher was
Yeah,
a
David
huge
Fincher was a
Quake
huge
fan.
Quake fan. Yeah.
I just kind of assumed he was a huge Nine Inch Nails fan. So,
Crap.
do
I
all
don't know, did
the
Fincher
do-
direct some Nine Inch Nails videos at some time? Is that
He might have actually,
because he
did a
directed?
whole
I know he
shitload of music videos
yeah,
before he did Alien 3.
like tons
so,
of commercials and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
You guys excited for Mank?
Mank?
I'm sorry. What?
The next David Fincher movie. You don't know what it's about that guy that helped co-wrote crap. The movie about the sled.
Oh, Citizen Kane.
Citizen Kane.
Citizen
Yeah.
Kane?
So
Yeah, it's
that's,
a movie about the guy that supposedly helped co-write that
Oh,
movie.
Joseph Mankiewicz?
Mankiewicz. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was not aware that this was happening.
Yeah, I didn't know.
It should be. It'll be out on Netflix like soon, I think.
Crap.
I was up for a new Fincher, especially when I can't leave the house.
Yeah.
Check the instant replay. I was like one
Agreed.
shot away from beating her.
You're pretty close to beating her, but I now I'm waiting for the death because of the stream delay.
There is
so.
no escape.
Cheers for that.
My understanding is there's no escape.
I've beaten her before, so it's not like, whoa.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
like you like ran right into that bullet, man.
That's because I keep forgetting that there is a bullet hell phase to this fight because it's only in the very
Yeah.
end.
Pathetic.
I don't. Did you ever get to the point where they start rotating different bosses into that slot?
I
'Cause
want
they
to
use
say
all
that there's a
3 of
different
the-
Fury, right?
Yeah, well, there's 3 of them, and then you end up fighting all 3 of them.
Oh, at once?
Well,
Maybe. I can't remember if I got that far.
but like they rotate them in and out.
Speaking of bullet hells, one of the other nice, fun pieces of news this week was, did you guys see that the folks who own the
It's also Joe. It's Gary Oldman plays Mank.
oh, nice.
Yeah.
I'm
So
into that.
Uh-huh.
Sure.
yeah.
Ah,
Yep.
Did you
this
guys-
is even. This just continues to be relevant to my
Yeah.
interests.
Yeah.
That's why I was surprised Joe hadn't heard of
Sure.
it before.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Did you guys see that the folks who
This is what
own-
happens when I don't get to go to the movies. I don't see trailers and I don't hear about things.
Yeah.
Yeah. But did you guys see the folks that own the IP from oh boy, what's the name of that company that made all the shooty games and then split into Cave? They split off into Cave and Aiding and Rising.
Joe, if you don't know the answer to
Treasure?
this question, who's gonna?
No, Treasure's still a company.
Joe turned into
I knew
me
they were,
anyways.
but
Yeah, no
I
kidding.
knew cave people I thought they split off from Treasure.
No,
That's why I was asking.
They split off from
Former
Herman-
employees of
uh,
Herman
Toaplan.
Mankiewicz.
Yes,
Toaplan. Yeah.
Herman Mankiewicz.
Herman Mankiewicz. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Joseph
Toaplan-
Mankiewicz is a different guy.
Yep. So the people who own
A little
the
bit.
Toaplan IP,
Uh-huh.
This is yeah.
They
I-
are
I
putting
still
out-
don't- I don't know what's going on here.
they're
Go
putting out a box set of Genesis games, reissues of Genesis games, of Fire Shark, Hellfire,
Shark Hell
nope,
and
no.
Fire.
Shark.
No, that
Well,
would
the
be
big
ridiculous.
one, the one that I think,
Alright,
Truxton, and then the last one is
And
Zero
Teddy
Wing.
Ruxpin.
Did you just say truck stick?
I did not.
Is that what happened to that thing?
Yes. But Zero Wing is finally getting an official US Genesis release after all
Dun
these
dun.
years.
Great.
So now you can fully
Wait, is that a video
experience-
game or is that just a GIF? That
It's just a GIF, actually.
Okay.
Well, no, sorry. Actually, it's a really low.
Should be a ping, right, Eric?
It's.
well, I don't think you can animate ping.
You can't animate pings. Yeah. It's actually a really low
What's
bit
the-
rate.
there's like
movie
a-
file,
There's like a miniature.
and now it's a GIF.
No, there's like a web WEBM or something like that, which is like a short video.
Oh, yeah,
format
yeah,
that
You-
Google's
you
trying to
got
make
it.
happen.
It's a real
like
media
higher-
Goddamn
man.
kids today.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so apparently it now also has all 36 of the endings that were not in the PAL version where that meme originally originated.
Great.
So, but I think it's a really
That's
like you
cool.
can get all
Yeah.
4 of them in like a box set with like a letter from the creator, like thanking you, and a pin of cats saying all your base are belong to us because of course.
course.
Right.
All that stuff, but it's pretty neat. They're all in different
Because
colored
of course your
cartridges.
base do belong to us, is what you're saying.
That sounds like that some people that cared about the video games that they made put out like a nice package of things, unlike certain other companies that put out certain other
Garbage.
classic games that is just like, here's a box
Oh,
of the
here we
games
go.
that are basically exactly the
Here we-
fucking same
here
as
we
they were when
go.
they came out.
Here we go.
And
Mhm.
I fucking hate Nintendo. They fucking suck so much.
So
They
I
just they can
will-
get
I-
away, they can do whatever they want, and they just like shit in people's mouths, and people are just like, oh yeah, I love these games. And it just makes me really sad and angry.
So as someone who bought that collection,
Yeah, it's a
Um,
fucking moron.
yeah.
Don't
so-
encourage them, Joe. Make them do better. Don't buy the bullshit.
So I will say that it's not as if these are completely like unretouched ROMs just dumped onto a Switch cart. And,
Joe, there's better versions of all these games. You could just play like on Dolphin, or there's like that fan-made
True.
PC version of Mario 64 that does all kinds of crazy shit to it.
Sure, but I
Right.
can't play that on my couch while my wife is watching TV. Is the thing.
Whatever.
You could if you bought yourself a janky handheld PC from Alibaba.
Right. Get yourself an NVIDIA Shield.
Yeah.
Oh
right.
Jesus,
Mhm.
that's the one with the side talking, right?
Yeah.
right, sure. So, yeah.
I know
mean,
they changed the so they
they
like
updated
in
the
Mario
HUD and the
Sunshine they
textures.
made it so that the camera rotates normally instead of inverted, but now there's no menu option to re-invert it for people
Change
that
it
want
back.
inverted, right?
Yeah.
So fuck Nintendo is my
Yeah,
point.
which is I'm
As
really
always,
stoked about
right.
that. I was actually kind of excited to give Sunshine another try, but when I heard
Yeah.
that, because I'm the guy who still likes inverted,
The inverted.
aiming controls.
So you got totally screwed. No, yeah, but the
So-
controls of that game suck ass. Like they need to retune the controls
Yeah.
so Mario's not like a twitchy fucking meth addict. But
I mean, they need to do that to Mario 64 also.
64 is not as bad as Sunshine.
So
The
here's
pro-
the thing. that
Actually,
I
the problem with
forgot.
64 is the camera is a pain in the ass.
The
Right.
camera
Yes.
is a pain
Camera
in
is
the ass,
untenable.
but it's not untenable.
It's untenable.
Have you
Eric,
considered
Trying to do
considered getting good?
things where you're walking on like a 3-pixel wide
Beam.
Yeah.
thing on the side of a
And the other way to move
a
the
hill?
camera, and it rotates.
and the
97
camera is either
degrees.
22 degrees to your left or 67 degrees to your
Uh-huh.
right is untenable.
Yeah, it's the thing is you know what though, that game had pretty fucking good camera controls.
For a game
In
made in
1990.
1995, sure.
Considering
Right.
it was
Yeah, but it
like-
turns out you could have fixed that.
Yeah, you could. They could have.
Right? Yes.
Right.
Hey, you know what? Fuck Nintendo. Is my point. This is
You
what
know
I'm
what?
saying.
I don't
what I-
see like we should just play Splatoon and just be done with it. Wait, hold on.
You're right.
The
Oh,
thing
fuck
that I
Nintendo.
actually-
Right.
Oh wait, we
exactly.
can't.
The
Yeah.
thing that I actually found the most, like going back to Mario 64, and I collected about, I don't know, 15 stars so far. The thing that I actually found the worst is I forgot how much I hated the fucking flying controls in that game.
Oh yeah.
The swimming controls are worse.
But the flying controls are time limited
Yeah,
in a
you
way
you can
that,
take
like,
your time when you're swimming, generally.
also when you're swimming, you can still just go straight up. Like when you're flying, you gradually lose altitude, and you can try to regain it by dipping and going back up, but it doesn't work a lot of the time. And so
Hey,
you end
I'm
up-
sorry, Joe.
That's
Have you
true.
not heard of thermodynamics? Maybe someone should acquaint you with the concept.
Yes, I'll try to. Mike, can you send me the physics lesson on how thermodynamics affect a fat Italian man with wings on his hat?
In the
Same as
the
everybody
Mushroom
else,
Kingdom.
Joe. Same as
You know
everybody
what?
else.
The thing is that probably exists somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I guarantee. Yeah.
Oh man, I
But
gotta
that's
choose
just a
Poseidon after
theory.
Oh, Jesus.
I got a spear and going to Poseidon. He knows a thing about
Mar-
spears.
Mario 64, Freeze Easy Peak,
That's you're
and
thinking.
chemtrails.
You're really thinking.
A
Like,
dissertation.
you got it all figured out. Yeah. So I don't know. Anyways, I don't. The thing is, I don't. I
Yes,
would
you
love
do.
to see a real, like, lovingly crafted remake of Mario 64, like the way that they did with like the Monkey Island games or something. Like that'd be great. That'd be a standalone package. You would get that.
Or
In
the-
Yeah, and in 10
or
years on
the
the Switch
Spyro-
3, they will make one and sell it to you for $80.
I don't think they will though. I don't.
Yeah, I don't know
That
they will.
doesn't seem like a thing Nintendo, and that's fine too. But if you're gonna do this thing, first of all, Mario Galaxy 2 has to be.
Yeah,
there.
but you know what? They
It's
just
ridiculous
fucking
that
did-
Mario Galaxy.
It
2
is
isn't in the
ridiculous that
package.
that's not
They
there.
just
And then
fucking
there
did
should
the
be, like-
thing.
There should be like a cool museum where you can like
Yes.
walk around and look at like the 3D models from all those games and like compare Goombas from different eras, or just there needs to be some dumb shit like that that would make the package feel like something
Special.
like these games that are important to like me as a person that likes video games are important to just video games in general. I would like to see them treated with like just like a modicum of respect from the company that
Yeah, I mean,
owns them,
Mario 64
but that's the thing is
is
Nintendo says fuck you, and so I say fuck you right back to Nintendo.
Well,
I would
you're
say
you're
fuck
right
you,
that
but
it's...
I want to play Mario 64 handheld.
Play something else, Joe. Don't fucking give them your money for that bullshit, because then they
Okay.
just make more bullshit.
It's too late, dude. It's too late.
Fucking part of the
But
problem.
I mean, you know, that's weird is that they just remade Link's Awakening, which is like comparatively a way less popular and less important game than something like Mario 64. And like
Right.
a Crash Bandicoot, you know, remake of Mario 64 would have been great. Or the Spyro. I mean, the Spyro trilogy. You were never going to get 3 Mario games for what they sold the
Yeah.
Spyro trilogy remake at. That wasn't going to happen. But
God damn, they treated with Spyro with more respect than Mario. Right?
They didn't.
That's right, they
Yeah.
didn't.
I mean, I would be fine even if these.
Activision, fucking Activision did.
Were,
What else does Activision have going on, though, you know?
you know,
Yeah.
the games being in the state they're in with just like
Yeah.
more context would be fine with me. 'Cause
Yeah.
actually,
Oh yeah, for sure. That's
like-
all. Honestly, that's all I would have needed, and then I would have bought it. But I'm not gonna. I'm just not gonna buy it.
Like, I'm the person who bought not just the SNK anniversary collection, but like the collector's edition.
I want
of
the
that.
Namco Museum version of those Mario games.
I want them
Yeah.
too, Eric.
The
But you
most
know what?
recent
Just,
Namco museums are kind of shitty too, though.
Yeah, but like the PlayStation 2 ones were really cool, right?
PlayStation 1 and PS1 ones I think were the best. They had like the fully
Yeah,
3D
yes,
museum you
yes.
could walk around.
Yeah.
Oh
in.
man, what if
Yeah.
you could do that, but it was the Goombas
Box
from
art, so you
Mario?
could look at the manuals. You could
Yeah,
do all
I
that
mean,
stuff.
the SNK, I mean, they basically what we're all saying is they should have had Digital Eclipse do it, but you know, obviously,
honestly, of
Yeah.
those games, the one I would most like to see remade is Mario Sunshine,
yes.
because that is the game that like there's so many really amazing and cool things in that game, and the controls are just so fucking twitchy and bad, and the camera
So
sucks.
here's the
and
thing
it's
that I
just-
forgot about in that game. Speaking of the
Uh-huh.
controls, if you
Uh-huh.
turn around, like if
Yep.
you're facing away and you just hit down to turn back the way you were,
Uh-huh.
Mario does like an Ikari Warriors style full circle turn,
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
will walk off a ledge.
Yeah,
And I totally forgot that happened.
Yes,
I
yeah.
was like,
that's
wow, fuck
that's
that.
true in Mario 64 and in Sunshine.
I
yeah. It's
do-
not till
I got Sunshine when it came out. I played it until I couldn't stand hunting for those motherfucking blue coins anymore, and I never played it again. So I honestly,
I mean, you don't have
That's-
to do that. You can just play through the game. It's fine. But also, you don't want to play through the game because the controls are really frustrating.
yeah, there were some parts where there was some mission. Is it like the haunted hotel where there was some shine I was trying to get where I was just
Yeah,
getting,
the hotel is the one that's really frustrating.
and I was just like,
'Cause
this
it's
The hotel
small.
one also has, yeah, it's like because there's all those like little tricky like secret passages and stuff that you have to.
Yeah,
navigate.
and it's not. Yeah, it's not
Isn't there
optimized for
also
that
like
shit.
a time you have to clean up a bunch of gunk in a certain amount of time?
Yep.
Well, that's
thing
actually
that-
one of my favorite boss fights in the game. Is I don't remember that's timed or not, but that's the level where you have that giant electrified manta ray. That's
I just
made
got
out of
there today.
paint. Yeah, that's like that's one of the things that in that game that's like, man, there's like no other video like that was such an original, cool thing that.
The boss fights I do remember being pretty good in
Right.
that game, especially compared to Mario 64, where the boss fights are all a variation on like
Yeah.
grab something from behind and throw it.
Oh yeah, that's rough.
Cooper blooper, super fucked up.
Yeah.
Still feel
Yep.
guilty about that.
You're a bad person.
Listen, it's the only way to get the shine.
But yeah, I
Also,
mean,
he was up ejaculating that black goo everywhere, so he had to go.
Yeah, it's true.
he's so goth, his cum is black.
Right, but it's just it's such a gruesome way to die.
Yeah, I'm interested to revisit Mario Sunshine just to see how if I still hate it. But the fact that I can't invert the controls is going to make me hate it, even if I don't think the rest.
Even
I
if
don't
you
hate
could-
it anymore for the same reasons
Yeah.
I did last time.
Yeah, now I
Here's
hate
the thing,
it.
Joe.
Now I
even
hate
if
it
you
for
could-
new reasons.
Even if you could invert the camera controls, you probably would still hate the
Hey,
controls.
you know what? Actually, the thing that's really interesting about all this that I just thought about in terms of like, oh well, there were control problems, then they fixed it in an update. Fucking Konami of all companies did a better job re-releasing a bunch of their old games last year with a bunch of content.
Oh yeah, the Castlevania.
Castlevania
Yeah,
and Contra stuff. They added other the different regional versions and.
To be fair, there was not a pandemic while that was being
Well,
worked
sure.
on, and Nintendo did have. There's some extenuating circumstances that. But then, if like I said, if that's the case, then like throw
Delay
Mario
it.
Galaxy 2 in there, right?
Yeah, or give me more games. Give me
Right,
Mario Galaxy 2 and give me fucking 3D Land. I get that
Well,
they're doing a
they're
full-blown
re-
re-release
I
of
was gonna
3D
say-
World.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Fucking
all right.
put 3D Land in there. Like,
Yeah.
why not? You
I
just
don't know.
fucking ended the 3DS lifespan, so fuck it. Like, you
Yeah,
know.
it's a. I don't know. It should be better. That's all.
But I am really intrigued.
You're
about
not wrong about that.
Treasure.
what 3D World plus
yeah.
Bowser's Fury is going to be, because they didn't just tack that on here; they were making it a separate thing. So.
Did
I
you
think
see
the
that?
idea of Poseidon being the guy that gives you just like more stuff is new.
Maybe. Oh yeah, that's weird. I got abilities from Poseidon earlier that weren't just more stuff.
Yeah,
Is it boss time? I think it's boss time.
it is.
Anyway, Eric, you are right to be mad at Nintendo about all this stuff, but also this collection includes Galaxy in 1080p, and that is like 100% worth the price of admission. So, what the hell, you know?
Although
What do
I
you
just
want?
played that. all the
Mario
time.
64 is only in 720p
Is that?
while we're bitching.
And it's
But I did get a cool pin set with it. Or not yet, but I'm going to get a cool pin set. After I tried 17 fucking times to order it, and fucking their website, everybody's website is fucking taking a shit lately, and it's really like I don't
that is not a new thing when it comes to pre-ordering.
I mean,
stuff.
it's
It
not.
is not.
You would think that at some point people would be like, "We get it. We need to have increased capacity for when we put things on sale."
It's just
because-
because
So
when the
let me
numbers run out-
explain to you
Yeah, go ahead.
about how deploying capabilities like that costs money,
Yeah,
and that it's not easy necessarily to just throw that at the.
Or
It's
even,
literally
just-
or even
no,
desirable.
I do
it's
not
literally
mean
just
to
not worth
imply
it. For
that
them
it is
to
easy.
spend the money to fix
Yeah.
it. Why?
But if you're, say, selling a bunch of things that cost $500 a piece,
Yeah.
like maybe make the investment to make sure the people who want to give you 500
Because
fucking
the,
Oh, yeah.
because the
Let
amount
me-
of money they
let
would
me-
have to spend to do it is
Yeah. So let me tell you this:
because
as
and also there's
someone
no
that
real
didn't get a
downside. Yeah.
didn't poked around to try and get a PS4, or PS5 through the usual suspects. I also got an email from Sony like a couple of weeks before was like, hey, if you want, you can put your name in and maybe we'll
Oh,
let you
yeah.
pre-order one through us. And I was like, okay, whatever.
So crazy.
And I did. And like the day after, they were like, oh, hey, you can buy one. Here's your link. And the next day, I logged onto the site. I got into a queue.
Uh-huh.
It said, in 20 minutes, you'll be able to buy your thing.
Uh-huh.
And in 20 minutes, I bought my thing.
Cool.
Yeah, because they
And-
vetted your PSN account and said that you were worthy
Yeah.
of buying.
They knew who I
PlayStation 5.
was.
We
They
live in
had
the hell
dedicated it to
future.
a certain set of people, which the platform holders could do
Could do.
through the platform, right? You could be like, hey, if you already have one of
Yeah, but
these,
that seems
you want to
even
buy a
more-
new one,
God, that seems
you
even
could
more
just buy it
fucked
through
up,
your
though.
Xbox or whatever.
All right.
I mean, I'm just
Because
I'm so
part of the
I'm-
problem here is shitheads and scalpers and bots.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure, absolutely. But I'm still pissed off about like when I was all set to buy the fucking analog pocket, and their store shit out on the like finding your shipping address, calculating your shipping, and then by the time their site pulled its head out of its ass, like it was sold out, and I was just like, I added this to my cart a minute before you even said it was supposed to go on sale, and I had it in my cart and I was ready to buy it, and your fucking storefront completely shit the bed on me, and
Yeah.
that fucking sucks. And you should have known that this was going to happen, so you should have taken the steps that when I want to give you $400.
But see, here's the thing, Joe.
Well,
is
the,
that they
it
sold
off.
out, and they don't give a fuck if they sell it to you or somebody else. That's why
right.
they don't.
Well,
right?
the thing that's dumb about that is there aren't any. They
Right.
weren't. There aren't going to
Right.
be
They
any
don't exist.
until later. So, like, why do they
You could
even
just
sell
take
out?
the pre-order
Yeah.
and then say,
Yeah,
hey,
just
it's gonna
go,
ship
hey,
to you."
2 days later, can I log on and
Yeah.
get it? Like, the reason that there's a gold rush
Yeah.
for that stuff is that there's a limited number, right? So, like, Sony or Microsoft or whatever, like, we're going to launch this on this date, and this is what's going to happen, and we're going to make our money, right? The analog people were like, sometime next year, you'll get one.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they could have added, they could have been elastic about that and said, I don't know, we need to make 20,000 more. Okay,
It's
We'll do
almost
that.
as if companies
when
like
you
the
sign
hype
up,
cycle
you'll
that
get
gets
it
generated.
3 months after everybody else gets it. If that's a problem for you, you can cancel your pre-order now.
Right.
Hey, it's getting late, and I'm going to stop this stream. So, Eric, I just wanted you to witness while I give my
You
one
didn't finish it.
and only bottle of wine to Cerberus.
Good.
There you go. Get that
That's a
pooch.
good
nice
boy.
and
It's
drunk.
ambrosia. I think,
Pooch from a
right?
pooch.
Is wine hooch? Does that
I guess
count?
It's not wine. It's ambrosia. So
Uh-huh.
it's toilet ambrosia.
So it is.
So it's cranberries and
Yeah.
marshmallows and yeah.
Yep. Everybody's favorite salad.
Yep. Well, I'm about to quit this game, and I'm about to stop this stream. So thank you for joining me while I lose
Thanks,
while I
Mike.
play
All
this
this
game.
negativity, I will say that Hades is fucking great.
Hades is great.
Love
I need to put some time into this.
Watching you play it makes me really
Sorry, no giving up here.
All right, I'm gonna start waving, and that means I'm gonna
Bye, Mike.
try pressing.
Bye.
Night, everybody.